Manga news. Yen Press announced a bunch of licenses. High School of the Dead, it's a big one. Hotaru Odagiri's Betrayal Knows My Name, aka Uragiri wa Boku no Namae o Shiteru. Also Kaoru Mori's The Bride's Stories, Otoyome Gatari. And Enkito's Higurashi When They Cry Demon Exposing arc. Okay. They also launched an online version of their Yen Plus print magazine. Yen Plus, the print magazine, is dead, but they're doing an online version. It'll be free for the first month when you sign up, and $3 a month thereafter, which, let's face it, is pretty darn cheap for a month's worth of manga issues. It'll include titles such as Yotsubato, or Yotsuba, some people call it that, and Jack Frost. And it'll also work on the iPad, which is kind of nice. Meanwhile, Square Enix announced a digital manga store for their stuff for both America and France, starting this fall, so you have a little bit to wait. But Square Enix has a lot of titles, so this is going to include Full Metal Alchemist, Soul Eater, Black Butler, Opart's Hunter, Record of a Fallen Vampire, Pandora Hearts, Sumomomo Momomo, and Spiral, though that leaves a Flash-based player. Tokyo Pop licensed Sakura no Ichiban, the first Cherry Blossoms, which is by Yuna Kagesaki. She's the creator of Karin and Chibi Vampire. She's also got Koge Danbo's Pavan for Dead Girl, Danbo Digicarrot, and Toya Tobina's Mr. Clean Fully Equipped. I have no idea what that is. Meanwhile, Seven Seas licensed two big manga, Toaru Kagaku no Railgun, a certain scientific railgun, and Toradora. So yeah, those are two very big ones, and very much interested, a lot of interest from the manga community and anime community. Here's an odd one. Atsushi Kase was a bad boy. He draws a manga about a World War II officer who's frozen in time, thawed out in modern times, and promptly goes to teach a class of high school delinquents, as you do. Well, Kase introduced a new villain who is very clearly based on a real fashion designer in Japan, like a real person, both in terms of character design, in terms of the name, and so forth and so on. And so a lawsuit quickly materialized, and the publisher was slapped with a $6,000 fine, and future installments / publications, trade paperbacks, all that kind of stuff, will have to have a redrawn version of that character. So, not a smart idea to make a real person into a evil villain in your manga. Meanwhile, Yoshihiro Tatsumi's autobiographical manga A Drifting Life won 2 Eisner Awards, which is really awesome, very prestigious comic awards. It won Best Reality-Based Work and Best U.S. Edition of an International Material, Asia Edition. It was the only manga to win an Eisner Award, which is unfortunate because there were other manga up for other titles, but oh well. Another odd one. Remember the recent announcement of a G Gundam manga? There's going to be a new manga based on Gundam Wing Endless Waltz. It'll be called Gundam Wing Endless Waltz Haisha Tachi no Eko, the glory of the defeated, but it'll be written by the main writer of Gundam Wing. So cool, although I don't know why. Gundam Wing came out a long time ago, but okay. Some miscellaneous news to finish up with. The latest Studio Ghibli film, The Borrower Arrietty, came out and sold just over 1 million tickets and made about $15 million in its opening weekend. That's about 85% of what Ponyo made. Although Ponyo was made by Hayao Miyazaki, and this is made by a guy who hasn't directed before, at least not at Studio Ghibli. So it's not surprising, no one's freaking out. The film's distributor says that they now expect Arrietty to make probably about US $120 million total based on those opening weekend numbers. So that's pretty impressive. Speaking of Ghibli, the Nausicaa of the Valley of Wind Blu-ray disc came out in mid-July, selling 20,000 copies in its first week to be the #1 Blu-ray disc in Japan of that week. And this is the first work of any studio to be the #1 in Japan on all 3 major home video formats: video cassette, DVD, and Blu-ray. So Nausicaa continues to be original and groundbreaking, which is awesome. If you haven't seen Nausicaa, go watch it. The upcoming Marvel anime from Madhouse, where they're animating a version of Iron Man and Wolverine and I think X-Men and something else. They will be airing on American television on the G4 network. Now granted, back when G4 was Tech TV, they aired things like Lane and Duel and awesome things like that, but I still don't see where that fits. Anyway, whatever. At least it'll be over here. The 4 members of AKB48, the very popular Japanese girl band, 4 of those girls will be getting their own manga titles in Weekly Young Jump. Now, I'm sure this is basically a marketing move, but it's still interesting. They're going to rotate between each story each week, so they'll effectively be a monthly title. You know, first week will be this girl's story, and then the next week will be this girl, and then they'll rotate back around. And each one will be based on the girl's personality, of course. Finally, news of the weird. The life-size Gundam statue has successfully moved to Shizuoka, where it now has a glowing beam saber. It was unveiled by Gundam creator Yoshiyuki Tomino. This is fun. Tomino, Gundam Seed theme singer and Uberfan TM Revolution, and Bandai president Kazunori Ueno. And Ueno showed up and did the thing in an Earth Federation uniform. So the president of Bandai cosplayed for this. Is that awesome or what? So that's all the news that was fit to print for the past 2 weeks. For more cool anime and manga stuff, pop by my blog at otakunovideo.net. You can email me at brent@otakunovideo.net or tweet me on Twitter at otakunovideo. So that's it, and until next time, stay awesome.